Hey guys, welcome back to Puffy Latin, and welcome back to Cafe Enchante. We are here after a bunch of steak was cooked, even though they didn't die, which I don't understand. Like, maybe he was just, like, roasted, but he just has, like, horrible third-degree burns, he's just laying there. Like, I don't get it, but, either way, we found out that Ignis doesn't kill anyone, so that's a relief, and I guess we'll just get into it.
と言いつつ殺さないのが兄貴なんすよね。はあ、ほんとお優しいことで。あいったー
Ignoring Dromi, Mizir opens his mouth to share a few words.
命のやりとりこそが世界そのもの。そんなベスティアにおいて君の最強はきっと許されないんだろうね。
殺戮こそ正義な他の魔獣からすれば価値観を覆しかねない存在。それなら狙われてしかり。
それを打ちのめせば打ちのめすほどイグニスはさらに狙われていくわけか。暴力世界のスパイラルだね。
別にな大層な立場のつもりはねえけどな。俺はただ好きに喧嘩してるだけだ。
何よ。
Ignis turns again to face the girl, who is taken aback.
お前の親は残念だった。お前の復讐心も理解できる。だがそれでも俺は誰も殺さねえ。そう決めてんだ。
バカみたい。そんな魔獣の話見たことも聞いたこともないわ。
What if she was just like, you know what? If you won't kill them, then I will, and she just goes crazy. Like, that would be horrible.
だったらなんでもっと早く。
What do you mean? Why are you like this? Like, you should be grateful that he saved you in the first place. Good
両親が殺される
God.
前に来てくれなかったのよ。
That's so rude. Wow, what an ungrateful person. Like, that's just like, he literally went out of his way to save you, and you're gonna be like, why weren't you there earlier? Like, that's not his fault. Oh, well, there she goes. The tearful girl collapses to the ground. Well. Huh? I don't know who that was. I didn't know what to voice him like. I just assumed it was a guy, but I don't know. Maybe it was a lady. Maybe it was just in the middle. I don't know. After that, we helped the territory begin their move to show our gratitude. That said, it was a world made up of ice, so there wasn't much to carry in a move, quite unlike the human world. Most of the work was just erasing any traces of anyone ever living here. Breaking down everything would make it so that more predatory demon beasts wouldn't be able to chase after them. Ignis and I, having finished our part, we took a break with Kororo near the edge of the territory. They keep spelling Kororo's name wrong and then swapping between Kokoro and Kororo, and it's very confusing.
正直に言うとよ。
Huh?
こういうベスティアでの俺の立場ってのが話に上がった時点で避けられると思ってたぜ。
Oh, no.
けどお前、あんまそういうの気にしねえんだな。一応隣にいる俺は殺し殺されの世界のトップなんだぜ。なんだよ、その微妙な顔。
Well, be that as it may, you've kept true to your creed, which means you've never killed anyone, right? I just don't get how someone can hold any fear or hatred towards you for something you haven't even done.
まあそれはそうかもしれねえけどよ。
Also, I don't know if this is going to come off to you as me being naive, but the Ignis I know, although he might be intimidating or rough around the edges, he cares about the people he's around. I mean, this is a guy who always cleans his plate back at Enchanté too. One of my treasured guests. So, I'm not scared of you, Ignis. Oh, he's blushing!
わかんねえだろ。俺が演技してるだけかもしんねえぞ。
Ignis, acting? I can't see it, or that's not possible. I can't see it. Yeah, I can't really see that. I mean, to me, you're a meat-loving demon beast with a huge appetite, so...
なんだそりゃ。けどま、俺だってお前が実は凶暴とか、急に言われても想像できねえもんな。
Yeah. Right? Anyway, there's only one thing I can say. Bestia's values and its violent inhabitants, like those minotaurs are, of course, scary, like everyone said. But I know now after coming here that not all of Bestia is like that. The demon beasts here, or Kororo, for example, most of all, you, Ignis. One of Enchanté's most treasured guests. I'm sure you won't change. The person who just throws open the gate and curtly places an order and then leaves without giving any thoughts about the food. Yeah, scary is not the right word for you.
そりゃ悪い。ゲートはもうちょっと気をつけて開け。
That's what he's concerned about.
飯は。いや、文句がねえからこそ何も言わないっつうかだな。
Oh, my heart. Oh, God, this is so cute. Ugh.
まったく。新米マスターのくせにずぶとくなりやがったよ。
Ignis lets out a sigh. His eyes were looking out into the distance. I wondered what they were focused on.
俺がこのベスティアで最強なのは間違いねえ。それと同時に異質な存在ってこともな。それでも俺にはここのトップに立ち続けて理由があんだ。
That reason why, I'm sure he didn't intend on explaining. Although I'm curious, I thought it best not to pry about the matter for now.
けどよ、俺も結局アルムムと同じ魔獣なんだ。このクソみてえな世界の住人なんだ。いつか何かの拍子に本能のままに俺も誰かをぶっ殺しちまうかもしれねえ。
Okay, that's terrifying.
なあ、ことね。それでもお前は。
Kororo, what's wrong? Kororo suddenly begins to move, shuffling around in my arms. Do you want to go to Ignis? As if nodding in affirmation, Kororo rubs his cheek against my arm. Although I'm a bit confused at his sudden demand, I move Kororo towards Ignis to hand him over, and then... Oh!
このいってら。
What? For some reason, headbutts him, and pretty ruthlessly at that. Kororo's got a little horn on his head too. That one had to have hurt. Sure enough, even Ignis was rubbing at the spot where he was practically stabbed in. But after jumping at him, Kororo seemed not to care at all, awkwardly climbing up to get onto Ignis's shoulder. Picture get! Oh, look at how cute!
何回しつけてもこの突撃癖は治らねえな。
So
一体何が気に入らねえんだ。
cute. Huh? He's done this before?
ああ、初対面の時、溝落ちに全力でな。
That must have hurt. While my face twisted, imagining how that felt, Dromi called us from afar after presumably having seen what happened.
あ、そうそう兄貴、俺が調べた情報によると、その頭突き、攻撃とかいたずらじゃなくて、
Why does it sound like he's like trapped in a bathroom somewhere?
どうもパークスにとっての親愛を表す習性っぽいっすよ。親に甘える時とかと同じ行動らしいっす。
Oh my god, some little Kororo thinks that he's the mom or something.
あ？
Affection. So, does that mean... Oh! Even now, Kororo continued rubbing his head on Ignis, or rather, it still looked like he was headbutting him. See? I'm sure Kororo doesn't really understand this at all, but he likes you.
は？そんなの知らねえよ。
He probably wasn't used to being liked by a more defenseless species like Kororo, considering his status. That, or he didn't know what to do with this feeling he was having. Ignis turned red, not knowing how to handle the situation. Just then, looking at Ignis' state, Kororo's mouth began to wriggle. Ew. That's terrifying. Oh my god. What?
は？お前喋れんのかよ。
It was a surprise that surmounted even those from knowing the truth behind Bestiaire Ignis. Oh my god. Wait, do sea demons have enough intelligence to mimic what other people say? Like parrots or parakeets?
かもしんねえな。
Oh my god. All we could do is smiled awkwardly at each other at the surprising revelation. That's... oh my god. So is Kororo gonna become like something that can speak? But that smile didn't last long. The young demon girl from earlier seemed to have found a herd of demon beasts after sneaking out from the territory.
借りを返しただけよ。あんたみたいな甘いやつ、いつか痛い目に遭えばいいんだわ。
Along with her goodbye, she told us about what she saw. Rushing to the spot she described, what we found. Wee woo wee woo, this is your Puffalata trigger warning. Yes, this is one of the few trigger warnings in Cafe Enchante so far. You could probably assume what happened with Kororo's parents. If you don't want to see blood, then please skip to the time shown on the screen, and if you're okay with it, then let's just barrel through it. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Trigger warning! Trigger warning! Gruesome remains of blood. And then...
ことね、直視するな。
Kana steps in front of me to block my vision. It was too late, though. Demon beasts, larger than Kororo, that were defenseless and had no ability to fight. So many of these sea demons. Blood was splattered everywhere. Some lay on the ice, others, their lifeless bodies floated in the water. A countless number of them, all dead.
狩られたか。
The lone assertion told the entire story of what had happened to Kororo's family and friends.
海に隠れる間もなくってところかな。
Mazir closes his eyes, and Eel puts his hands together, offering a prayer. No, don't look at the— oh no! Cover his eyes! In my arms was that clueless face. It seemed like Kororo didn't understand a single part of the reality we walked into. Or maybe he didn't understand they were fellow demons. They were unrecognizable. Kororo's parents may have been among them, the ones he was desperate to find, having been crying the whole time we tried to do so. But if they were here now, it's... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Kororo. I wish we could have just reunited you with your family. Tears fall from my eyes. They streamed as I hugged this helpless child who was just looking for his parents. It was all I could do. Oh, Jesus. Chapter 7! Great! We go from the most depressing scene to Eel's smiling face for Chapter 7. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh. are we in Eel's perspective? I don't know who to even voice this as. I'll just speak like I normally do. That was his final message to me.
お待たせしました、ソーアン。私に用があると聞きましたが、何かしらの手伝いでしょうか。
おう、来たか。ああ、いや何、ちょっとした世間話さ。だがな、その前に。いるよ。俺はさっき、大事な話があるからすぐに降りてこい。そう言ったはずだよな。
はい。なので可能な限り早くゲームを区切りの良いところまで進めてから来ました。セーブデータの保存もバッチリです。
Course.
たく、世間様じゃそういうのはすぐって言わねえんだ。俺、時計見てみろ。俺が声かけてから1時間も経ってるじゃねえか。
なるほど。時間概念に関しては今後修正していくとしましょう。は
あ、相変わらずゆるっとしやがって。まあいい。とりあえず座れ。
Oops. Huh. I sit as asked. Placed there already was my usual float, my favorite beverage on the menu. Based on my experience, I believe I'm being invited to drink. Without hesitation, I reach for it. The familiar, relaxing sensation of sweet I've learned of after arriving at Enchanté. I could feel the circuits in my brain recover after exhausting them from my Otama game, or so I felt. Soan continued staring at me as I continued sipping away. I wonder what was so concerning, as this surely wasn't the usual sight for him. I tilt my head, and as if waiting for that response, Soan opens his mouth.
なあ、いる。お前はこの店、アンシャンテのことは好きか？
何を当たり前のことを。好きに決まっているでしょう。
It felt like my common sense was in question. Someone surely already knew the answer. Above all,
この場所とあなたは私に笑顔を与えてくれましたから、嫌いになれという方が無理難題かと。
そうか。ミシェルのやつは納得してねえようだが、俺はお前がいいならそれで構わねえ。だが、お前もなんだかんだでここに来て長い。いつまでも与えられる側に甘えてないで、そろそろ与える側に立てるようになれ。笑顔をもらった。そう思うなら、お前も誰かに笑顔をくれてやれるようにならなきゃな。
yet another question. What could he mean? I do understand the words he speaks. However, I had no idea as to what he was trying to communicate with me.
わかんねえか。けど意味がわかんねえならそれでいい。今はジジイの寝言とでも思ってろ。ただ、どうか忘れてくれるな。これが俺からお前に教えられる最後のことだからよ。
その言葉の詳細な意図は理解できていませんが、今のあなたの言葉をしっかり記憶しておけばいいのですね。
That would be fairly simple. I was truly perplexed about his intent in asking this question. He said I didn't need to understand. If so, I have no need to think further of it. Satisfied with my decision, I returned to my work, mixing the black of the coffee and the white of the ice cream together. A few days later, after I had come to understand when he would pass on, he chased me off back to the heavenly world Kayam. At this time, I can make a guess. That what he said was intended to be his last wishes to me. However, why did he ask that of me? What does it mean to give one a smile? To who and how? And most of all, why? If what he bestowed upon me was a request at all, it was perhaps too abstract for me to truly understand it. If he would have given me the methods to apply, I could have used my own judgment after that. However, if I were to ask such a thing,
バカ野郎が。まずは自分で考えてみろ。
and the like, he still scolds me, even in my daydreams. This is sad too! What the heck? Oh man, this is a depressing episode. Lord. Back to Koto at the least. It was a comfortable day today. The weather was so sunny that it would be too hot to wear layers. The garden was graced by sunlight. I turned the nozzle of the watering hose to its quaint shower mode. In the corner, enjoying the wading pool, I splashed Kororo with arcs of water, and he splashed in the water with glee. Does it feel good, Kororo? Smiling face, so long as he's happy. Still. The reason as to why he's here, well, he doesn't understand reason at his age. Wee woo, this is just a mini trigger warning. They flash back to the previous scene where there was blood, so if you don't want to see that, please skip to the time shown on the screen. Oh, we got a flashback to the frickin', oh my god. It's been 3 days since we returned from Bestia on our trip to find his parents, knowing that his friends and family met a gruesome fate. It was decided that Kororo would come to live here at Enchanté. Sea demons are demon beasts that live in the ocean. They live just fine on land, too. He spends most of his time around me or Karia, and we let him freshen up on occasion by giving him showers like this. I'm really no good. Ever since then, every time I had a moment to myself, I'd recall that sight. I imagine if I would have been there sooner. I asked myself, what if, so very often. But thinking about it wouldn't change what's happened already, so there's no point in... And yet, I still can't help but think, as presumptuous as it may seem, that I could have been able to do something for this poor, innocent little creature. It's almost opening time. Let's get you nice and dry, alright, Kororo? Can't leave him wet? Whatever. Drenched, I wrapped Kororo in a blanket and went up to my room on the 3rd floor. I ran into a certain someone as I rounded the 2nd floor.
ことね、ちょうどよかった。今あなたを訪ねようとしていたのです。
And we're gonna stop here. I wanted to just end on a not sad note. Is that okay? Like, good God. We just had... Oh, man. I really hope it wasn't Kororo's parents. Maybe his parents are still under the sea somewhere. But I have a feeling that life just isn't so kind. I feel like I'm getting such whiplash. Because Cafe Enchante is, like, going from, like, these really happy moments and, like, all of these, like, fun times to, like... Hey, Rindo gets stabbed and fucking, like, Kororo's parents are all dead and Ignis might be a murderer. Like, what's that going on? Either way, next episode, I guess we'll find out what Eel wants from us.